after further review.
What is going on, everyone? Episode 39 of After Further Review. Hope everyone's having a great day. We took a little time off last week, mostly my fault. I was a bit under the weather, but we are back at it, back on that grind, and excited to keep getting out these podcasts for you guys.
EP39, you already know. Let's get it.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to have a fun show for you guys, but don't forget, in 2 weeks, episode 41, we are going to go live. We're going to get you guys info on that, and we're going to go live on YouTube just like we did back on, I believe, episode 25 was that?
30.
Episode 30.
Episode 30 was, and since then, YouTube has been thriving. Yeah. You guys got to catch us on YouTube. Watch some video content of us. It's a great time.
It's a great time. We're going to actually be doing some giveaways because we want people to win these giveaways. So hop on. We're going to have some fun. Start off the year. We're going to go. Let's start some NBA. Let's do some NBA. Okay. Just switch it up a little bit. I know you guys have plenty to talk about. I'll just go right into, for you guys, Sixers. You got Sixers just going to work. Maxey is just stepping right in as a dominant number two, 1A, 1B to Embiid. And on the other side, you got just, I'm sure you're loving the Clippers right now, just constantly losing with Harden.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to start right now. The box score from Sunday night's game.
Box score, Ryan.
Tyrese Maxey, 20 for 32, 7 threes made, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, a 50 bomb, which included Joe giving him the ball late, saying, "You're going to shoot this ball." And he hits a ridiculous step back three, 28, 29 footer. I don't even know what it was for the 50 piece. Also, Joel with a 37 and 13 night. So it's just crazy how, if you look at duos in the NBA right now, I don't know if they can go up against anyone. If you're comparing duos in the NBA right now, Tyrese Maxey has blossomed next to MVP Embiid, and I love it. I'm going to ride the high. Right now, I'm saying I don't even want them to make a trade. They're 8-2. I'm sure it's Nick Nurse too, Chase. It just seems like there's a bunch of not fluency when Doc Rivers is there. I know they have Ben Simmons drama, James Harden ISO ball, but just clear out all this all-star drama. If you have a good team, you can win. You obviously need some stars, but Maxey has exploded, and oh my goodness, I love it. I mean, the leash is off, and he's showing out right now.
Yeah, it's been good. And I think a lot of people after the Harden deal left, we were just so worried about filling a spot instead of just letting the team play. And they've obviously showed us that they don't necessarily need someone right now at this point. Maybe at the deadline, you just pick up some supplemental depth, or maybe, a really good role player or somebody like that, which is a lot easier to acquire right now than a full-fledged superstar. So I can't say I'm too mad about it. And obviously I definitely love seeing the Clippers just eat a bag full of dog crap. They're a great team. They're I feel like individually they're really good, but they just, with the injuries and all the concerns that they can have off the court, it just seems like way too much, like a toxic environment. And I never even I don't know how they filled out the rest of their team because they traded so many people in the Harden deal. I had to imagine they had to call people in or, have G League people come up to fill those spots. But yeah, definitely love to see the Sixers putting in the work right now, staying on the grind. And it seems like they're taking this season so seriously, even this early on. I think they realize all these games could come back in the end of the season and make a difference. If you're starting off slow, then you're going to have to worry about being, you could be a 6 seed out of the gate, if you're not careful, but just because of losses, and especially how competitive the conference is on a whole. So it's good to see them be active and change all of our minds about what they are as a team right now.
They're kind of playing for each other a lot more, and they're playing very unselfish, and they're like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich right now. So just got to hope the bread stays on either side.
It's just, first off, Tobias Harris he's averaging over 20 points a game. He's playing like he has his whole career. He's been hitting on teams, with James Harden the last year and a half. He's just had to sit in the corner and just not even touch the ball and shoot threes occasionally, which he's not even known for. He's posting players up, he's driving to the basket. Everyone's moving, everyone's involved. D'Anthony Melton dropped the 30 piece this week. I mean, it's just everything's cooking. Nick Nurse is acting like he's been there for 8 years. They just plug in, 4 new players. I know KJ Martin's not getting much time, but between Batum, Rocco, Marcus Morris Sr.'s in and out, like they're just mixing in different things. Nick Nurse he seems like he's plugging all the right pieces, knows when to sub guys in, when to take guys out between, Oubre before he got hurt, between him, Harden, or him, Harris, Embiid, and Maxey. It's like at least 2 guys are on the court, and Embiid's just playing so unselfish too. He's getting his numbers and not even like demanding the ball, but neither is Maxey. Maxey's touching the ball more than anyone else on the team. He's not demanding it. And I've heard stories about how Maxey's just showing up every day at like 7 a.m. as happy as can be, and just, the bright energy. I've heard a lot of great talk about Pat Bev. I know he's one of those like, is he dirty or not type players in the NBA. I know that at least for the Sixers and the culture they're trying to build right now and get away from the Simmons and the Harden and all that stuff. I heard Pat Beverly's actually really helped out with just his energy and what he brings to the practices. And his defensive rating is pretty good for being older still. So I'm just happy. I'm finally excited. It's easy to get into all right, the NBA season starts. Everyone knows it's an 8-month long, 82 game season. You're hoping just not to get injured, get to the playoffs to see if the Sixers can get past the second round. But like right now, I'm excited. Like I was excited to watch the game last night, not because it's the NBA in-season tournament. That's a separate issue. But I was just excited to watch the Sixers play. I haven't been like that since like the beginning of the Embiid era. And it's so much fun right now.
Yeah, it's been good. And I don't know, I dumped on the trade at first, but it's actually nice having a lot of bench players that can actually be valuable to your team. It's not like they're gonna go and light it up, but like you said, Melton can go out and have a good game. Batum can come in and just eat a lot of minutes. Like they got a lot of people who can just ride out the season almost and not have to like have such a tight rotation. I feel like Doc would do that. He would blow guys out, and like they would have to sit people. Like I feel like now they're on such like they can be on a healthy blend. And by the time they get to the playoffs, you're not really worrying about it. And obviously, it's good when Joel's so efficient. He has like 35, 40 points entering the fourth quarter already, and he can just sit out that quarter. But yeah, it seems like they're not pressing. It seems like they're just letting the game flow to them, and they're taking what comes to them. And they have so many people that can just take a part of the offense and make it their own. So it's been refreshing. It's been really, like you said, it's just been nice to watch.
And those pieces are gonna be there at the deadline. Like there's gonna be teams like the Jazz, and you could get like Colin Sexton. I'm not saying that's the guy you want, but like you can get a guy like a young upside type player like that for probably relatively cheap. Plug him into that culture in a different environment, a winning environment, and a guy like that could just light it up for you and be a great like option off the bench.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest thing is just energy, upbeat presence. Like I feel like there's not much needed right now. It just seems like the culture has been shot in Philly for years, but we're 10 games, we're 1/8 into the season. They're 8-2, and it just feels like there's like a culture, and you don't need to like they have the veteran presence. I mean, they have, not a ton of guys with championship, been there, done that, but just the overall like just joyousness of the team right now. Like please don't do anything crazy. Like it's one of those things, if they're
Yeah.
playing well all year, don't ruin it. Please don't ruin it.
Yeah. And I know it's been tough for the Sixers to find a perfect pair for Joel, but maybe Maxey could be it. And you already have him. He's played with Joel for 3 years, 4 years now, I think. And he obviously knows what works with Joel and what doesn't. So I feel like maybe he might be the best option. And like you said, Ben, I'd rather have to find role players than have to find a flat out superstar. Like that would cost us a lot. You'd have to give up more than probably what they're worth. And I'd rather have to pick up like, oh, we need a shooter, we need a defender off the bench. Like that's way easier to get in the NBA than anything else.
I mean, right now there's no reason to think that they need anything else than a number 3. The way the two are playing, like at this point, you can legitimately, okay, Maxi's 2, and it's a hell of a lot easier to find a number 3 for reasonable than to try to find a legit number 2. So if that is the case, which it right now looks like it, hopefully stays that way for you guys. And
Well, Harris is playing like a number 3.
that's true.
Like a really
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so you get someone equal, a little above or lesser value. I mean, Oubre's playing lights out. I know he's injured right now, but I always liked him. Another guy just brings a bunch of energy and
That was
bounce
a tough
to the
yeah, it
game.
was a tough injury.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna play through it, but he's a starter. He's also averaging 20 points a game. But like if he keeps playing how he does, like obviously you can move some, I don't want them to get rid of any of the core players. I know Harris is always on the talk, but it's just because he's been there 6 years, but he's durable. He shows up every night, he does his job, and he's good veteran presence.
Yeah, we already paid him 95% of his contract. I'm not going to trade him at this point. I was on it when it was like 50% paid, but he's this is his last year in his deal, right?
That's
Or
correct.
second to last year.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not going to trade him now.
he's been there forever.
Yeah.
He
I mean,
came
he's been
over-
valuable. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's like when he's had the opportunities, he's really shined. Like, you can tell the seasons where he was like on the back seat or an afterthought on offense. And his numbers, like, I feel like it wasn't like he wasn't bad. He just didn't get a lot of opportunities and had to be somebody he's not. And Oubre, like you said, too, just a steal of a signing for nothing. And you hope that all the scoring can last all season.
Yeah, that was tough. You'd have an injury like that because he was playing really well, and then just like a freak thing.
Yeah, and Ben, I don't know if you want to touch on your Knicks at all or not, but the Sixers just played back-to-back games against the Pacers, and Obi Toppin was looking pretty nice out there. I was like, classic. Here we go.
Yeah, so Knicks right now 5-5. I mean, it feels like it's the same tune every year. I want less Julius Randle, and I want more like opportunity for some of the other guys. I mean, Randall's getting second most minutes on the team. He's averaging 18 points a game, but it feels like every game he's just not shooting well, or he's just taking bad shots, or just he doesn't feel like a winning player to me. Like he doesn't take the team by control. He gets like down about stuff. Like he shows his emotion on his sleeve. He doesn't, and sometimes for the worse. And so it doesn't feel like a guy that we can ever win anything really with, but no one else is seeing that. Brunson has been like, that signing has actually turned out really well for the most part. I'm happy with it, but I just wish they would play like they signed Arcidiacono and he's not even playing hardly at all. DiVincenzo's getting like 15 minutes a game, but they're not putting him in great spots. So I don't know. I mean, Thibodeau's just doing his thing where every starter's getting like 35 plus a game no matter what. And I don't think that's in today's NBA that's how you're gonna win. So I wish they would. I think Barrett can handle more of a load in the offense, and I don't think he's being given that opportunity yet. I mean, he's in his like fourth year now,
At least.
fourth or fifth year. He's averaging 22, and I don't know where that is in comparison to previous years, but he's still only 23, which is crazy. So
I can him and Brunson can be like a 1-2 punch. I know. Like
yeah, they just got to get Randall out of there. I don't like Randall. I just don't.
Randall
like
should go to the Celtics. That's where he should go.
Oh,
Make a deal with the
gosh.
Celtics and give him Randall.
him and Porzingis.
Oh yeah, get
Oh,
Porzingis
God.
back.
So I mean, and Barrett, his rookie season, he averaged 14. This is his fifth year. Second season, averaged 17. 2021 averaged 20. Last year had a dip, 19.6. And then this year he's up to 22. He doesn't have to be like a 28 point per game guy. It can be him and Brunson at mid 20s. And
He's done better than Zion and Cam combined from that Duke team.
Oh, yeah.
true.
Like he's by far like played up to. I mean, you never
Wasn't he
know.
the highest rated out of all three?
I think Zion was.
That was
I feel like
I think
Zion
going into Duke,
was RJ.
Barrett, I don't know.
I
do
thought
remember
going into
something.
Duke, he was higher ranked than Zion.
Yeah. If we ever get an out of the, that's going to be easy. I was going to say, if we ever get an out of the immaculate grid out of the US, but basketball is easy for that. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah, isn't RJ Barrett Canadian?
Yeah.
Canadian Bacon, RJ Barrett.
Yeah. But I mean, Mitchell Robinson's been a bright spot too.
I love him. I
He's
love him.
not selfish. He'll go like 2 for 2, 3 for 3 pretty much every game shooting and just grab boards and block. And that's like, I love that. We'll see. I'm not expecting much. If they traded Randall, this team would be much more fun. And I still out on Tommy T. But
Yeah, I feel like we're already at 1/8 of the way through the season. I feel like I haven't even followed anything besides Sixers wise. Like I haven't had a ton of time to watch other games because I've been watching a lot of football still. But
I will just lastly touch,
Yeah.
if we're going to go to football here in a sec, I will just touch on the Clippers real quick
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we brought them up. So I don't know if you guys saw last night, they lost the Nuggets by 3. And Paul George with a game tire, step back, wedgie. It was like time expiring to tie the game, step back wedgie, and I forget who was on the call. He was like, "Oh, what a time for that!" It was a great call. It was a great call.
13 seconds left. Powell, George, Caldwell Pope is on him. Paul George, this could tie it. Oh, gee! Of all times to get it. At the worst time to get a wedgie.
But I mean, that team, is it Ty Lue? Is he still the coach?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, they're
Ty Lue, bro, he gets all these super teams where I feel like he's not even doing anything.
I know. I feel like he just has to show up.
Yeah, but he's getting, I mean, so he's starting Harden, Westbrook, Leonard, and George.
Who's
and
their
then
fifth starter?
Zubac.
Oh, okay.
But all those guys are getting 30 minutes or more a game, like starting. And I don't think at this point of career, like I love Westbrook. Trust me. Like, I love Westbrook. But I don't think he's a 30-minute a game a guy anymore. And I'm not sure Harden.
I don't think.
I know Harden came off the bench in OKC, but I feel like Harden and Westbrook never really played together in OKC.
Well, they're both also not very efficient at this point in their careers.
No.
So,
yeah.
I don't know the stats. I don't know the numbers in front of me, but the fact of the matter is Kawhi Leonard needs to legitimately just speak up, tell everyone to shut up and give me the ball. I'll run the offense. He can. He did it on the Raptors. He's a two-way player. He's like LeBron. It's how he's won his championships. And he's still capable of, I think he is, of carrying a team. The rest are older. I mean, just think about when Paul George was leading the Pacers. That was a long time ago. And everyone
he's
knows
32 though. Like you get 32 in NBA, and that's
oh my god, he's like a 42-year-old NBA.
Yeah.
Who?
And
Kawhi?
Yeah.
No, I'm not worried about Kawhi. He still has the capabilities.
Over under his career, does he average 20 a game?
For his career?
Mm-hmm. Like points per game.
Are you asking theoretically?
No.
Right now.
I'm legitimately asking.
He's over.
Okay.
Right?
I'm just asking you. I'll tell you in a sec.
He's over.
Okay.
I have no idea. I feel like he's gonna be like 19.8 for some dumb reason.
19.6. He's under.
He's
No,
under
what?
for his career?
Yeah.
What?
Just because of all those couple first years in San Antonio were so
What, he
low.
averaged like 17 or something.
He's actually really not durable at all either, but that's besides the point.
No. Anyway, I thought that was interesting while we were talking about
Either
it.
way, if they want to try to win
Yeah.
this year, it's got to be Kawhi.
I don't think that starting four is going to work. I just don't think that those four on the, like, I think someone has to come, one of those guys has to come off the bench. Like,
yeah.
Probably not. At least it's probably between Harden and Westbrook. One of those two got to come off the bench. I don't think all four of them should start.
Bro, I wish I had. Bro, I wish I had my my NBA prediction for the playoffs because I feel like I had the Clippers going decently far.
Oh, I have the Clippers winning it all. I just looked.
Just destroyed them.
I have the Clippers winning the whole thing.
I don't know. We gotta upload them to our
Pelicans too. They're not looking great either.
I have the Clippers as a 6 seed and losing in the first round.
Oh, Chase is in.
Yeah, that seems. Really
I feel pretty confident with that.
What is McCollum? By the way, because is the Pelicans, is McCollum like just out? Is it like a Chris Bosh situation where like he might never even play
Chris
again?
Bosh situation.
Chris Bosh.
that was a
Chris Bosh.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know the prognosis on that.
I don't know either. I don't know how long that puts you out for.
No. Also, I didn't even know Tim Hardaway was still getting solid minutes on the Mavs.
He is.
Yeah, I got 28 minutes against the Pelicans, 15 points, but 4 for 14. He shot the most besides Kyrie and Doncic. Also, that's worked really well. We haven't talked. We don't need to
I
talk
still don't
about
get why did they choke last year? Like
they're 8-2 this year.
that's what I'm saying. Why did they not try last year at the end of the season? They're not
I don't
bad.
know.
They
What-
did get Grant Williams too from the
Oh.
Porzingis deal,
Oh,
which he's not a
that's
bad,
interesting.
not a bad
Yeah.
thing. Why is Seth? Was he? Did he get in trouble or is he just not playing much for them anymore?
Seth Curry?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
because he's just averaging 9 minutes a game so far in 8 games this year. Like he's not getting hardly any time on the court. He's averaging like 2 points a game in like 9 minutes.
I guess they just let Tim Hardaway absorb all of his minutes.
It's just weird because Curry, like when I saw him on the Sixers, he was a good like 15 minute, 20 minute.
I know. I feel like he would start a good bit too.
Like, that's a guy like you wouldn't be upset if you got him back again at the trade deadline for hardly anything.
Oh
Like,
no, I would do it for a 2028 second round pick.
there you
Sure.
go. And I'm sure the Mavs would do it if they're only going to play him 8 minutes a game.
Yeah, they don't care.
So
You know who I like, and he's playing well this year is Andre Drummond for the Bulls. But CJ McCollum, by the way, it's not that. I mean, he did have a collapsed lung, but they're saying he's not going to be out that long. So if they can be
That's good.
competitive, I mean, that 1-2 punch to him and Dame, like he was always obviously overshadowed, but he can get buckets.
did you see against the Bulls? Speaking of Bulls, the other night, who went off the bench for the Pistons?
Who?
Kevin Knox.
No,
He went 7 for
what?
8. He went 24 minutes, 7 for 8 from the floor, 4 for 5 from three, 18 points.
Oh,
Is that a career high? I'm
know.
saying yes. I'm saying that was his career
He's
high.
averaging 15 a game with the Pistons so far this year.
The Pistons is just a
Well,
great.
he's only been in
place.
2 games, but he got waived off the Blazers and sent to the G League, and then I think the Pistons like signed him to a deal or something.
I feel like the Pistons have had just the land of misfit toys for the last 8 years,
Yeah.
and just gotten no
castaways.
with it. Although Killian Hayes is nice,
Yeah,
Like-
true.
I like him.
What's going on with Wiseman? He's like off the bench too. Like it's just a weird team.
I know they're starting bagels.
What the heck?
they're oh gosh, the Pistons.
Like Wiseman and Knox right now on the bench, and they're 22 and 24. And then they got Alec Burks too, just down there, who's getting minutes.
Dang.
It's a weird team.
Yeah, I forgot Monty Williams is their coach. So he's probably putting in work.
They're
with
2 and
them.
9 right now, but
Oh yeah, that's worth it.
yeah, they got some guys.
Dang.
That's crazy. Yeah, we should do a list of like former Knicks first round picks and where they're at.
All right, put it on the queue.
Because I always feel like I see like Dennis Smith Jr. pop up every now and again, and like
That was such
Kevin
a
Knox.
Frank Ntilikina.
Oh yeah, just guys. I'm like, oh yeah.
I actually liked the Ntilikina pick, and that just didn't work. I just want my Kevin Knox Knicks jersey to like age better than it has so far.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, it's a total loss.
Yeah. So the NBA this year in general has just been pretty crazy. A lot of interesting things. I don't even think we need to touch on the tournament and just that whole thing.
Oh no! What is going on with the court?
Okay, we'll touch on.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's just they're trying to be. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I legit like it was messing with my eyes. An orange basketball. The Sixers court was like red. I couldn't like the paint was just one strip across the whole.
It looks like some
center
of those
the-
weird college games, like when you see like when Oregon, I don't know, or some of them do weird stuff.
I'm just trying to think of how much effort and money that costed for an in-season irrelevant like Sixers freaking Pacers game. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Like, there's no way that Pacers game last night got more attention than the Pacers game Sunday night when Maxey dropped 50. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It just
No, I don't like it. It's like an online court you would play on like 2K or something like that.
yeah.
I'm not a fan of it.
It's like the Street V2 like Mario court on the GameCube.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they could have just used like their alternate jersey and then just put that like on the court, like
Yeah.
that logo, and been like, oh yeah,
I'm already,
different on the
yeah,
court.
I already get triggered enough how they have like a different city edition jersey every single year because there's only so many ideas you can do.
Yeah,
And now we're just changing the court. Like, I don't know. I feel like the Hornets do it sometimes, and that's like it. Like, the Hornets have like that light teal blue or whatever, which is cool and it's retro, but this just like we're gonna,
Miami has like a cool one or two also.
yeah, but just this putting the, what is it, the Larry O'Brien trophy in the middle of the court for an NBA in-season tourney playing game, like, no.
I'm not a fan of it. I haven't heard one person either say they like it.
Yeah, I don't know if the game, either some of the games the other week felt more competitive. Like, I don't know. A lot of the games were just closer, but I don't know if that was like, I don't know if that was some scripted crap. Like, it just felt like some of the games were closer. And I was like, this is weird. I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't necessarily
like
believe all that stuff, but
it's just annoying that there's like not a point to it other than to just make money.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
it is.
I mean, I get it. Like, they're trying to bring in more fan this time of year. Like, football obviously takes up the most. Hockey just started. I get it, but to me, the NBA season means less in like the January February timeframe. I get it. Football's ending. Baseball hasn't started yet. There should be nothing else to watch, but that's where it feels like the NBA season's irrelevant. Right around the All Star break. I feel like right now it's still like everyone's playing. It's exciting. I mean, they're making rules for guys not to sit. I don't get it. If it's a Sunday and the Sixers are playing or there's football on, most people are watching football. If it's a Wednesday night and nothing else is on, we're going to watch basketball. Like, it's just how it's going to be until football's over. Then you have the irrelevant point of the season.
You got always those like small school college basketball games going on. You always follow.
Yeah,
That's
like,
true.
I feel like March, everyone only cares about March Madness. Does anyone watch the NBA in March? Like,
No.
I don't get it. I don't know. Stupid.
Let's go from basketball to football here. And to start off, we are gonna just talk
New segment.
new segment? New segment. All right. So
This is called. We know Chase is a huge Ravens fan. Everyone out there listening at this point knows because Chase loves football. He loves college football. He loves the NFL. He especially loves the Ravens. And good, bad, or indifferent, this is a new segment we're gonna call the Ravens Rant.
I like it.
So Chase, you basically segment simple enough. We're introducing this to you right now, but we give you the floor and you can talk Ravens however you want. If you want us to get involved, we can, but we know you might have some stuff to say, especially after this past Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, this Sunday was a rough one. If you didn't know, the Ravens played the Browns, pivotal divisional matchup, a chance for the Ravens to assert their dominance within the division and move to 8 wins on the season with 2 losses. Instead, they let the Browns hang around, do their creepy Deshaun Watson hand under the blanket type deal. Kept them in the game, end up losing on a last second field goal, and really put the season in perspective. The Ravens coming off a blowout win over the Lions before, maybe smelling themselves and thinking that this game would be easier. But Deshaun Watson, for what he is off the field, is kind of irrelevant to what he is on the field. He's definitely a player that's getting back into a groove, and obviously now is completely hurt for the rest of the season, so it makes it hurt even more. But at the time, he was definitely getting better as a team, and the Browns are obviously talented too. But the Ravens just have this problem when their losses this year have been really bad, where they just let teams hang around and come back and beat them in, not a good way. So looking towards the playoffs and looking just into the future of their schedule, they have a lot of tough matchups coming up, and losing this Browns game is obviously going to hurt them in the playoff seeding. It's one thing when you lose to an NFC team, it has nothing to do with the conference play. I can live with that type of a loss, but when they continue to lose, and especially to AFC teams, it drives me crazy. And they lost the team so far, like the Colts and the Steelers, that don't, like, the Steelers are 5-3 somehow, and the Colts aren't really a great team either. So just those two teams right there, you lost to, and they're not really great. Well, losses on paper. They have a short week this week against the Bengals, so they obviously need to come out, get rid of that game on the Sunday, and start a new page because the Bengals isn't going to be an easy matchup either. They've shown that they've had some weaknesses, but still, if you take them even the slightest, Jamar Chase can go off for 200 yards in a game and 3 touchdowns, and there's nothing you can do to stop them. So for the Ravens, I still have hope in their defense. I don't think their defense is the problem at all. I think it's their offense. They just get stagnant and then let possessions go by that were key for them, and then they get in these ruts. So hopefully they can switch it out. I'd love to see Odell. He's obviously on a 2-game streak of catching a touchdown. So he's only getting like 2 to 3 targets a game, which I don't understand. Odell's a volume guy. The more you feed him, the more he gets hype, the more he's going to make, crazy athletic plays. Last week, obviously his touchdown was long. He showed he still got the speed, the move. So he's just a guy where I think if he got 5-6 targets in a game, probably even more than that, you'd really start to see flashes of what Odell was in the Super Bowl with the Rams, and maybe even flashes of what he was as a Giant. He's just a confidence guy. I think you just have to give him the ball and let him do his thing, and he'll just ball out because that's what he is. He's Odell Beckham. Like, what are we talking about? A top 10 receiver of this generation. That's what I'm talking about.
Odell, anytime touchdown score Thursday? Question mark.
Pick.
That's okay. Oh yeah, I like it, but because I like it so much, I feel like it won't happen. He'll get like 40 or 50 yards and no touchdown.
Yeah, he'll pop off. He'll have like 8 catches for like 120 yards.
Yeah. And it's a meaningful game last week too against the Browns. He obviously wanted to do some damage against them. Not so much on the damage department, but scoring a touchdown was big for him. And you just hope that him and Lamar continue to build chemistry, and they're going to need each other to be successful for the rest of the year.
Their run game too, like not even counting Lamar, has been awesome. Like the last month and a half, I feel like Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, right? Like
yeah, Keaton Mitchell, who finally got game action the last 2
Yeah.
weeks after being hurt all year. Yeah, and Lamar too is just he's been a different Lamar this year. Like anytime there's been a crease in the pocket, I haven't seen him explode out of it like he has in the past. It seems like when he does run, he's getting caught from behind or he's making the decision late. So, part of this is more Lamar than anything. He's thrown horrible interceptions this year. Just ones where I don't know what he's thinking in the moment. He's not putting anything on it. For as much as I proclaim other people have a noodle arm, Lamar's showed more of a noodle arm than I've seen in his entire career this year. So
Doesn't
it's
he have
tough.
more turnovers and touchdowns?
Probably. I'm pretty sure he does. It feels like he does. Feels like he has 35 interceptions at this point. They're still in a good spot, still in first. They really need to straighten some things out. Because like I said, they have the Bengals this week, the Chargers, the Jaguars, the 49ers, the Dolphins, and they finish off the year with the Steelers. So
that's a tough end of the schedule. It's got to be up
Yeah.
there, top 5 roughest strengths of schedules.
And they play the Rams, but they should beat the Rams. They should.
The pick's not looking great after the Packers L that we talked about was a guaranteed.
My Titans are sitting at 3-6.
Well, the Rams are 3-6 too.
Yeah.
It's crazy, Chase, because every year you have your powerhouses, right? And I feel like the AFC has been consistently, you think Bengals, you think Bills, you think Chiefs. And I feel like there's a lot of people that
we'll talk about the Bills in a second.
I feel like there's a lot of people who put the Ravens in that category, but I feel like they haven't been this dominant since 2019.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because just injuries, Lamar's hit or miss, betting on himself, all kinds of defensive cornerbacks going down. But it's just wild. I feel like you have Bengals, Bills, Chiefs, easily top 3 consistent powerhouse teams last 5 years. A lot of people would put Ravens probably in that 4th hole in the AFC. But I know the schedule's tough, right? But they seem like they're 2019 Ravens right now.
Yeah, in a way. They've been weirdly dominant, but not enough for me to feel like I did with them in 2019. I felt like every week I was like, they're going to piece someone up this week. and they closed out games, which I feel like was the difference with this team. Like they just, and maybe it's just because the 3 losses they had were just garbage losses, just ones that were really left a bad taste in my mouth. But when they have turned it on, they've whipped teams. So hopefully it's just a matter of getting into a groove, realizing yourself, calling some people out, and making the changes. Because I mean, it's gonna be, and every team feels it right now. It's gonna be make or break for your season. Somebody who wants it more than you is gonna beat you.
You know, that with that division though, like every win's so crucial because you have, I mean, now the Browns, you might feel a little bit better.
Wait, is Deshaun Watson actually done?
Yeah,
Yeah,
What
he's out for the
happened?
year.
The
He hurt his shoulder.
It's like,
Yeah,
I think he needs surgery.
yeah,
I forget the broken hamate, maybe. I don't know.
yeah. It was
What, in this
something.
game? In the Ravens game?
I
I
think
don't know. He hurt his leg, I think, at one point, but
I think he's been dealing with it, and then
yeah,
I
I
don't.
think this was from earlier in the season, his shoulder injury.
Bro, what the heck? He's just not been himself since he took he took like a year off, and then his allegations took another year off. But anyways,
Yeah.
the Bills, Ben, who actually they're what are they 5-4? They haven't
5-5.
been. They're 5-5.
And I talk about the Ravens having bad losses, but the Bills, oh my God. I mean,
Yeah,
they've had some horrible losses.
yeah. No, that team literally deserves to just be relegated at this point.
The Bills, the
Yeah,
Buffalo
the
Bills, who have
the
gone to
Bills.
3
They're
straight
not gonna. They're
championship
not
games.
gonna win anything at this point. Allen's done. Diggs is done. Sean, McDermott lost it. Like the
Allen's
yeah,
done
he's done. The team's done.
this year. Do they make the playoffs?
No,
You're saying right now they don't make the
No.
playoffs.
no.
I think I called the Bills not making the playoffs in my bracket.
Yeah,
Or I have them like sketchily low or something.
yeah.
The Bills are not who's
No,
the Bills aren't making the playoffs?
no. I don't think so. The Bills at this point. Let's look at their schedule quick because first of all, just a terrible loss to the Broncos, who I don't care what Russell Wilson's if he's playing better this year. The Broncos are still not a good team.
Oh my God. The Bills are oh my God.
What do they got?
Yeah,
coming
so
up?
let's look at this. The
Oh,
Jets,
God.
okay.
That's not. I mean, divisional game. Jets
never know.
defense is good.
Then they get the Eagles, Chiefs,
Oh.
Cowboys,
Oh.
Chargers,
Oh,
the Patriots, and then the Dolphins. That stretch of the Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Chargers,
They could go 0-4.
they could go 0 and then you end with the Dolphins.
I mean, and they're 5-5. They're 5-5 to legit make the playoffs. You got to go at least 10-7. So they got to go 5-2. Wow, you guys are right.
19 touchdowns, 11 picks for Allen this year. I mean, he has just not been careful with the ball. They don't
run the ball. They don't even try to run the ball.
James Cook has been okay, but they don't do a lot with it. Like they don't do a lot with
Yeah.
him, and they've used Murray, and then they barely have used Damian Harris really at all, even though they have him now. Yeah, I just think, I mean, the worse it gets for the Bills, the more Diggs is gonna just one out too. And I think that team's done. They should go back to Buffalo where they're irrelevant all the time.
It's crazy. Their division's not even that good right now. I mean, I know Tre'Davious White's out for the year. He's, an elite corner in the NFL. I actually want to, while we're talking about the Bills, James Cook has been having a good season. I want to ask you guys this. I don't know if you guys watched the game Monday night or not. He fumbled on one of the first plays of the game and then sat out for so long. When a quarterback fumbles or throws a really bad pick, they're always right back out there.
yeah.
Why is it in the NFL if a running back, like a wide receiver fumbles it, nothing happens? But if a running back fumbles the football, there are some teams that just literally refuse to play him for at least the next couple of series. Like they just had Latavius Murray. I don't even know who else they had out there. They just were James Cook's just chilling on the sideline. Is that like why? Why only with running backs? Allen threw a pick the very next possession, and then he came out for series 3, and James Cook still didn't come
Because
back.
running backs are a lot more interchangeable in the league. You have a star quarterback, you don't bench him.
But James Cook is good.
I'm not saying
having
he's
a
not good.
year.
He's not. But I'm saying when you have like Latavius Murray and like he's not
33-year-old oldest running back
Yeah,
in the
but
league.
Cook is not like it's not like McCaffrey fumbles and you're like benching McCaffrey or you're like even like Pollard if he fumbled. Like he's not on that level.
Yeah, but like Mac Jones throws a pick six and he's back out
Mac
there.
Jones is a bad example. Mac Jones should just be backed up.
I remember Tom Coughlin he would bench you the rest of the game if you fumbled
that was
the ball.
the Brandon Jacobs Ahmad Bradshaw combo.
Yeah. And Tiki Barber used to get benched a lot too because he would fumble the ball. He'd have like 90 yards and then fumble the ball and he'd be out the rest of the game.
You just reminded me about Brandon Jacobs. That dude was a monster. I remember him.
Yeah, him and Bradshaw. That's probably like a 400 to 500-pound running back room.
Yeah, I know. Underrated
between
part
the two of them.
Championship teams.
Well, yeah, but I mean the Bills, it's just crazy. The Pats are trash. The Jets, it just seems like
they need Zach Wilson. I mean, I don't understand why they're not giving someone else a shot. I mean, I feel like at this point, with the talent that's around him, we've given him a legitimate shot. I mean, we're wasting the season away with a really, really talented roster. Like Wilson, weapon wise, like you got with Breece Hall, Wilson, like the wide receivers, they have plenty of talent to have a legitimate quarterback succeed.
I know I want to touch on this. I want to do a segment on quarterbacks. I just think quarterback play between injuries and rookies, it's just really down this year. But I feel like the norm used to be that you would draft a quarterback and he would sit for a few years. And I know players like CJ Stroud right now, who he'll probably win Rookie of the Year. And some people are going to tell him right now he should be in the MVP conversation. And I know he's probably the reason that most teams don't do it. But I feel like Zach Wilson could have legitimately benefited getting drafted, just riding the bench for 2 or 3 years, to learning everything, instead of getting put out there I mean, like Ben said, any quarterback like Brock Purdy, I don't really like him, but if he's on a good team and a good system, the Jets have Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, Garrett Wilson, a stellar defense. Like, you put a system quarterback in there. I just feel like Wilson being so young, well, I mean, he might never pan out to anything, but I don't think just sticking him out there is helping him at all.
I talked about it a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was more than a couple weeks ago, but I would have like traded for Winston. Like, I feel like putting Jameis in there, I don't know, it gives us more of a shot than Wilson does. We just need, the defense is good. We just need something on offense, even if it comes with mistakes, which we know what Winston is at this point.
Yeah, I feel like Wilson only throws it to Garrett Wilson too.
Yeah.
Like, that's his only target. So if you take Garrett Wilson out, it's like, now what are you going to do?
That's just something weird to me. Like, I know it's working with CJ Stroud in Houston, right? But
Bryce Young.
Yeah, Bryce Young. He's getting a lot of heat right now because he was the number one he's a rookie.
Yeah.
Some guys
happens every year.
Like Rodgers sat under Favre. Dak sat under, I mean, Dak only sat like half a year, right? That's not a good example, but I'm just trying to think. There's a lot of quarterbacks that sat right away. I get it. You need to have like a starter. It's a little different when you don't have anyone there, but I mean, Flacco could have started for the Jets last year. It wouldn't have made a difference for their season. Zach Wilson gets one. This year, Aaron Rodgers obviously comes in. He gets hurt. Like Ben says, bring in Winston. Like, let Wilson sit the first 2 years if he's really not ready. Because they're just...
I mean, I was fine letting him try to... Like, I was okay in the beginning. But, like, I think at this... Like, even a couple weeks ago. But, like, now... Okay, we gotta do something.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers hates him, by the way? I feel like he's always trying to go up to Aaron during the games and ask him stuff, and Aaron just keeps walking away.
I don't know. That's funny. But no, to your point, Ryan, we'll do some stuff on quarterbacks too. Because I mean, when you got like touchdown interception ratio and your top 3 guys right now, I think are Stroud, Russell Wilson, I think like Derek Carr, and those are your top 3. Like, that's something. Yeah, it's weird. Something's weird. So we'll talk deeper into that next week on the podcast and go into some of that stuff.
I mean, the further we go into sports, the talent's always going to become better overall, and the athleticism will become better overall, just because that's how sports works, right? You know more now. You know more how to train, how to play, this, that, and the other thing. But yeah, we'll have to dive into that real quick. NFC. The Cowboys, Dak absolutely dominates the Giants and the Commanders. Like, he literally has another level whenever they're playing those two teams. I know it's been the Eagles and the Cowboys back and forth last few years, but complete, utter domination. Saquon, I don't know. He's having a down year. He's been out there playing, hasn't been able to generate much. I know the Giants have their injuries, but week 1, Cowboys dominated them. This week they have injuries. Darren Waller's not playing. Daniel Jones is out. Tyrod Taylor's out. But Saquon was in there. They still dominate them. And Chase, we're talking about powerhouses, AFC, NFC. I feel like for the most part, Eagles, 49ers, and Cowboys are probably the 3. I don't know if I'm missing anyone. Everyone else has kind of been up and down. I feel like that's been the powerhouses the last few years, though. And good losses, bad losses. Chase, I feel like the Cowboys are kind of like the Ravens. Couple bad losses, but I feel like both of them will make the playoffs and both of them can make some noise in the playoffs. And I just feel like, I don't know, I'm still a little – McCarthy sometimes doesn't always do everything right. Pollard might not be that workhorse number 1. They finally figured out CeeDee Lamb, and that's what I've been trying to say all year long. They finally figured him out. He sets an NFL record.
We talked about that.
Yeah, we did, and they figured him out. They know they're utilizing him, and it's insane how good CeeDee Lamb actually can be. Their receiving core is nice. Their defense is nice, and yeah.
Van Der Esch out again for the year, but that's not a surprise.
No, that's not. And I mean, Micah can play a little more linebacker. I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm excited. And Dak can be that guy.
I mean, year 9, right? Kind of have to. You are the guy at this point,
especially in the league we're in now with the quarterback play.
Yeah.
So, but I was excited about that game. I wasn't even mad with the Eagles' loss, by the way. That wasn't as
still gonna be tough for you if the Cowboys-Eagles match up in like an NFC Championship game.
That's gonna get
still gonna be tough.
But I'm just talking about that loss. That wasn't even a bad Cowboys loss against the Eagles. That was a really good game.
Yeah,
like if you watch that game.
Yeah, I mean they had a chance at the end to win it too. So
it's been a pretty good football year. Besides the quarterback play hasn't really bothered me that much, but I feel like it's been a pretty good NFL year. Josh Dobbs. I feel like he's like I'm just jumping around now, but I feel like everyone was like, "Oh yeah, he's playing well with the Cardinals," and they were like 1-8. Like the dude didn't produce any wins. He didn't. I think Pittsburgh he played in last year didn't produce any wins, and I mean, now he's just winning on the Vikings with a weird roster and coach combo up there in Minnesota. But
they're 5-0 without Justin Jefferson.
It's insane.
1-4 with him this year.
Dang. That's actually crazy.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything from that. I'm still having Justin Jefferson play when he's healthy.
Yeah. Diggs is now my most hated player in the NFL.
Do you want to let everyone know what happened in fantasy?
No, I lost, but it's Diggs' fault. I think
he's your least favorite player in the NFL.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Yeah, Vontaze Burfict isn't in there anymore. I don't like him.
Because Brady's gone, right?
Brady's gone too. Yeah.
What about Deshaun Watson?
Who do you hate more, Deshaun Watson or Stephon Diggs?
Diggs.
Oh my God.
Watson's 2.
Actually, I don't think I just hate Deshaun Watson. I hate his contract more than I hate him.
Yeah, that's true. He ruined everything, and he's literally.
How is he the only one getting $300 million guaranteed?
And last year and this
how
year,
is that possible?
If you combine last year and this year, it's still less than a season of what he's played.
Yeah, and he's played like. He was getting better, I would admit, but like he played like dog shit almost every game for them.
He's still though this year. I think I saw he's like 7 TDs and 4 picks. Like he's not that's the only factor, but he just still hasn't like put up crazy anything.
No, like Houston Deshaun Watson was way better than anything Cleveland.
Oh my
but like no, CJ Stroud though is like actually legit, and especially for watching him at Ohio State.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a gamer. He can make ridiculous throws. So this is kind of like not surprising in a way. It's more just the fact he could read NFL defenses.
Yes, and I've heard him talk and like heard some of his story before, and he's a good dude. So
yeah, he's also a unit. He's like 6'5". Like,
yeah,
he's way bigger than. Yeah,
like he's like Baker Mayfield, Johnny Manziel. These guys aren't like huge.
And Bryce Young's tiny.
Bryce Young's 6 foot.
Yeah. Bryce Young's Kyler Murray height.
D'Amico Ryans isn't getting a lot of credit either. I mean, he's done a great job, and Maybe
love
that'll get
D'Amico
some more
Ryans.
black coaches hired too. He's done. I think he's like everywhere he's gone. You just hear people love him. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that the Texans, like when all that Deshaun Watson stuff was going on, I know that. I mean, I don't want to assume anything with Texans ownership, but I know there's a lot of like, oh, are they, is there a lot of racism within their organization and stuff? But I mean, they had Deshaun Watson, they got CJ Stroud, they had Lovie Smith last year. They're giving, these black coaches and black players these opportunities, which they more than willing deserve. So I hope their organization's not as trash as the rumors were. But I love D'Amico Ryans. I love him so much. I loved him as a player. He played for the Eagles. He was a monster linebacker. He was a great defensive coordinator on the 49ers last year. Really deserving of a head coach spot. Got it. And now he's delivering in what should have been just a development year for their players.
Yeah, I kind of said this after their week 1 game against the Ravens. I was like, they're kind of going to be like the Lions were last year. Like they're going to win some games, but I think they've exceeded what the Lions did last year just based off the people they've taken down this year. I mean, they weren't really out of the Ravens game. They were kind of hanging around and then the Ravens just scored late, but I mean, beating the Bengals the way they did and the week before that, CJ Stroud has to drive down the field and make plays. Like they're doing it way more like accelerated, I would say. So depending on how their draft goes too and free agency, I mean, they could be a lethal team in the next 3 years.
I will say they did Lovie Smith kind of dirty with that,
Yeah,
just
they did.
hiring him and then firing him after last year with just having to start Davis Mills as quarterback all year. Like no one expected them to win more games than they did. Like that, I don't know. They did him kind of dirty, but
yeah. The only thing bad that's going to come out of this, like I said, is there's going to be a lot more quarterbacks drafted round 1 that are all just going to be put out there in positions to fail. And it just
happens all the time. Like Kyler Murray too. Like it's just going to keep happening.
Yeah. And this next draft is going to be a lot of quarterback players. So
probably get started right away.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be finding new homes after the season.
All these guys just going to be backups on the Immaculate Grid.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Oh yeah, Mac Jones is destined to be a backup somewhere.
He's the next Brian Hoyer.
He could be. He could start. Yeah. He could just like go to like the Panthers next year and back up Bryce Young just in case Young gets hurt, and then he'll get another shot. Knowing how like Young's kind of tiny.
I can see the Titans trying to take him for some reason.
Also, I know we were on a survivor pool this year, by the way. You just pick one team to win. They win, you advance. You can't pick that team again. I won our pool in like week 7. I'm still trucking, by the way.
You're still going?
I was still going. I don't know how far I can go. Last week was by far the hardest week. I had the Lions were my best pick against the Chargers. I was super sketched out about it, and obviously came down to the wire.
Dang.
But they pulled it out. And this week I'm feeling okay.
How long have you been by yourself?
For like 4 weeks.
That's crazy because when I won it a year or two ago, I think I went to week 9 or 10, but it was still, I think, up to like week 8 or 9. I feel like there was still like 2 or 3 people with me.
Yeah, you won, and then I think you lost like the next week or something.
Yeah. Jeez, that's crazy. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so I'm riding the Niners this week against the Buccaneers. So
okay. That's nice.
I won't be mad if I lose that one.
We'll keep updating us here on the podcast how it's going because I don't at this point honestly check it anymore. So
we played.
I haven't looked.
Of course, this is just a free league, and of course, I'm just by far dominating. Next year, I'll probably lose week 1 like I did last year. But yeah, riding the Niners this week. So if you guys, if anyone wants a money line and you want to go Niners, my picks have been money.
Are we getting a pick in here?
No, I'm not going to bet on the 49ers. I'm okay if I lose the survivor pool to the Bucks. But
so
it would also be
locking the pick in.
If I could make it through 18 weeks, that'd be ridiculous.
I'm also, for the record, I am making a pick because I talk so much crap on the Bills and the Jets are playing the Bills next week and they're +7. Give me that spread all day, +7 on the Jets. All day.
Are you locking it in?
Locking it in.
I like it.
Divisional game. I don't even care where it's at. They can easily keep. They're going to get like I wonder if you can Josh Allen picks. Like he's probably going to throw at least one, right?
Oh yeah, that's a solid bet too. Josh
Yeah.
over half of an interception against that Jets defense.
I mean, what do you have 3 week 1 or whatever? Week 2.
Yeah, against the Jets.
Yeah.
That's
Because the
right.
guy had 3. The one guy had all
Yeah.
3,
Oh yeah.
and they won. They beat the Bills week 1.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this. We just talked some NBA and NFL, but we had some great conversation, some great topics covering both sports, and we look forward to the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, like all of our stuff, give us a follow on Spotify, and yeah, we'll catch you guys next week.
So long.
Peace.